I wanted to stress to y'all the three most important things that you need in life to empower you to move towards your goals, to be more successful, and to make you healthier mentally, emotionally, socially, physically, spiritually, and financially. Self-worth equals freedom. What's up, y'all? This is Victory Vlog number 1, and this is a series that I'm doing about how sleeping outdoors has increased my self-worth. Okay? And if you're just joining me, my name is Liberty V Justice. There's no period in my V because my victories never end, and yours don't have to either, my friends. Vales mucho. You are worth it. Puedes hacer lo que tú quieres. You can do anything you want to do, and if you want to do it badly enough, you will find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. So, no more excuses. Okay, so let me start right when the Lord liberated me of my home, because I didn't lose anything. I gained the opportunity to create everything that I've always wanted in life. And number 1, that is helping you, okay? And my vision has become so much clearer, and I've become a much better person. I've become happier, healthier, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, socially, and a tad bit financially. So I'm still sleeping outdoors. If you're watching this, October 11th, 2018. Okay, however, when the Lord first liberated me of my home, all these dreams started to come to the surface, you know? I was sitting in a hotel with cancer in Erie, Pennsylvania, when I could not walk. I was very sick. And I found out that I have celiac disease, and they say it was almost too late. They told me I was gonna die. They told me I had cancer, and and I couldn't walk. So I'm sitting there just drained. Like I felt no life, almost no life. And I didn't have anybody. I had to meet new people, let's put it that way. I went to a new church, and I was constantly trying to reach out to get people to support me in my career. I was in Bible college at the time, and I was working on my master's degree, and all I could think was, God, I really want to help people. I saw myself being very wealthy, having a private jet, having a 1970 Boss 302 Mustang, being the best wife ever. And it was at this time that I had these things, when I was this close to death. And when I was close to death, that's when I decided I want to live. So that's the only time that a lot of people don't really, I would say most people, we don't really start to live until we get a mortality motivation. And a lot of you out there haven't felt enough pain, and as much pain as you tell me that you're in now. People send me messages all the time, and I see your Facebook posts, and this guy is I hate my life, it's terrible, and he's beating me, and blah, 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 and my mother did this, and this person did that, and you guys are always complaining and blaming other people. Like you don't understand that you have a choice. So I got out of abuse when I was younger. I was raped as a child, and I was molested for years, then I was raped. And I went through hell with that, and I always wonder, I had questions in my mind, like, people don't believe me, this really didn't happen, why am I so worthless, why did this happen to me, and all these things, me. But when I looked outside, and I saw all you guys suffering, and I saw that when I started saying I'm worth it, and I saw that made a difference, and the more I see when people are sending me messages, like, Liberty, how did you do this? Especially people that knew me before, like, Nat knew me a little bit when I was first starting to get better, but people that knew me from high school, Natalie De Jesus, and the people that knew me from high school, like Audrey Reed And she comes to me, she's like, oh my gosh, you made such a life change. She saw me struggling as a dope fiend in high school, and stuff like that. And she saw me go to the Army. She saw me come back from the Army with PTSD. And so when people see my progress and they ask me for, like, the people are asking me for advice, like, how did you overcome? So that's why I do this channel. That is why I started this channel, so that I could become a better speaker. I never thought that anybody would watch it, because at the time I didn't know anything about YouTube or how to do private, episodes. But I was just trying to be a better speaker so that one day I could be on stage doing TED Talks and sharing with you my victories there. I just want to really be great at speaking and articulating things, So when I was younger, I had so many excuses. I don't feel good. I'm tired. I can't do it. This person did this, I was raped as a child. That was a big thing for me to use as an excuse. I was raped, nobody cares about me and all these things. And so I had that victim mentality. I should be like this, loser victim mentality, because you're losing. If you are losing, it's because of your mentality. Okay, so if you feel like everybody's taking advantage of you, you need to step back and think, well, what's my part in it? You need to think, how can I feel? You just need to choose, just like I said, when I had that, I told you all about that dream. Anybody remember that dream? I said I had an epic dream that changed my life. One time, it was probably 10 years ago, and this is when I first started to change my life, okay? So I had a dream that I was in this dungeon, right? And I was crying, oh, Jesus, help me, help me, help me. And Jesus came in to my room, to my cell. And I stopped crying for a moment. And I looked up and I said, Jesus, and I got happy, and I was like, for 1 second, I just let go of that negativity and all those horrible things that happened to me, or that victim mentality, and said, Jesus is here to save me, right? And then Jesus left, and I hung my head in defeat, and I just started crying again. But when I looked up, I stopped myself, and I regained my emotional control for a moment. And when I realized something, wait a minute, Jesus walked out of that cell the same way he walked in. That door was open the whole time. That's how he got in. And you know what? That's how I can get out, is just walking out that door to victory. Walking out that door with my self-worth. That's the key. I realized that I can do it, right? I can ask God, like I did in the hotel room. God, when I was living there, God, I really want to help people. I really want to do this. I want to do that. But long before that, I was unwilling. I had dreams, but I lost them because I was unwilling to be true to myself. I didn't love myself. I looked at myself as a victim. I looked at everybody else for their opinion. I looked at myself as unworthy. But when I was in that hotel room and those dreams started to come to the surface again, I looked at myself that I said, God, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do this. I'm the best wife ever. And when I started speaking those words, worthy words to myself, I am the best wife ever. Do your I ams every day in the mirror. I am the best wife ever. I am the greatest woman to walk this planet. Don't use my I ams, whatever yours are, but these were mine. I am the best wife ever. I am the greatest woman to walk this planet. I am an amazing entertainer. I'm a great musician. I'm a great singer. I am a great author, And so it was at this time that I was getting my master's degree from Bible college. And what I want to stress to you, though, right now, is that your words, my words are what increase my worth. My words to myself, my mentality, the words that come out, and the thoughts in the words, the thoughts kind of came more so when I started speaking the good words over myself, listening to people like Lewis Howes, Brendan Burchard, Tom Bilyeu, Tony Robbins, all of these great people, Earl Nightingale, and all these great people with this great, strong, powerful mentality with the powerful words. And I started speaking my own words out because I didn't have people around me that were strong enough mentally that could uplift me. So I went to YouTube, and that's why I started this channel. So the words, but I also want to stress to you that your words are meaningless unless you back them up with the appropriate actions. Just like, okay, you say you want to be, say, okay, I'm a great musician. Well, how can I be a musician if I never practice, right? You have to put actions behind it. So the first thing I did was I needed to regain my health. So one of the things that regained my health was, well, the first thing was saying that I'm worth it to go and eat the healthy food, right? But the second thing, after saying that I'm worth it and going and then actually purchasing the healthy food and actually eating it and continuing to eat it 4 years later, but then it was the action behind the career that I said I wanted. Like, I want to be a New York Times best-selling author. So I call this priming the pump, but I met people at the Salvation Army because I looked up domestic violence. I wanted to write about domestic violence, right? And so I found that there was an opportunity, and I met the people, the editors and people like that at the Salvation Army, and I call this priming the pump or setting the stage. You're getting things ready for the goals that you have in mind, right? So then I did that, and I asked them specifically, what do you want? How can I make this a great article? How can I have a good shot at getting this article published? Okay, so then I created things that I wanted to say in the article. I looked up, I asked people's advice, like what verses is good, are good for this. And I asked people to read it, and I asked them if I could read it out loud to them and things like that. I got a lot of advice. The Bible says there's a lot of wisdom, or there is wisdom in having many counselors. Okay. So I did that. And I prayed about it a lot, prayed a lot. I just worked on this one article while in my degree, writing to get my master's. So 2 months before I got my master's degree, I was published for the very first time and paid for my art. I wanted to stress to y'all the 3 most important things that you need in life to empower you to move towards your goals, to be more successful, and to make you healthier mentally, emotionally, socially, physically, spiritually, and financially. Okay. 1, your words and your thoughts about yourself and others. 2, actions. Small actions every day towards your goal. No matter how small you think it is, it adds up. Build momentum. And 3 is people. The right environment with the right people that have your mentality, that are actually moving towards your goals. So check it out. When I started saying I am worth it, and when I started saying I am the best wife ever, I am the best dancer in the world, I am the best singer, I am a powerful speaker, I am a New York Times best-selling author. When I started saying those things, it made me feel better about myself. Not complaining, and always people ask me how I'm doing, I say I'm blessed. Thinking of others, and then just always showing love and compassion, right? And then when I started, it moved me even further, and I started walking again when I actually was published. I had my first article that I was actually paid for my art, Battered to Bless in the Salvation Army, and I'll post that link below so you can read that. It's under my old name, just so you know. My real name is Liberty V. Justice. It's under Heather Dalrymple, but my legal name now is Liberty V. Justice. Okay, and then I got my master's degree, and that's when I started walking again, because I physically was healed by my own actions. Love ain't what you say, it's what you do. And if you say you want to change the world, then you got to work, right? And I love this life. Okay, and then 3 is having the right people around you with that mentality, who will encourage you and who will keep you accountable and tell you the truth. So I want to send a special shout out to my friend Mario Dominguez. Man, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for all your advice in your coaching that you're giving me, and the fact that you just keep it so real. And I know that when you encourage me that you actually mean it. I could feel your love and your energy, and I really appreciate you, and I send that back to you, my friend. You are worth it. Vales mucho. And one last thing that I want to share, one last victory with you. I saved this to the end. Tomorrow, I will have completed another goal. I am starring in a television show, and I will post you about it when it happens. I will let you know when you can find it, okay? So just like I said, you can do anything you want to do. And if you want to do it badly enough, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. You are worth it. In life, you can only add value or you can take it. So if I added value to your life with this episode, you can add value to me by my Facebook fundraiser, which I'll post below. You can send me a money order in the mail. I will post my P.O. box. You can send me PayPal. There's many ways. There's probably many more ways. But you can also purchase some of my clothing. I'll post that below. So those are options. No excuses. There's many options for you right there. And if you still say you don't have the money, then don't tell me to get a job, okay? I got a career. Notice the first 3 letters are car. Mustang City, okay? 1970, boss 302. His name is Maverick, okay? There's one more option, which I hope you'll do in addition to investing in me with my Facebook fundraiser or my clothing or whichever route you take there. But you can also comment. Sharing is caring on all your social media. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that now.